Revelation 845. From the 3rd of April 1939. Divinity of Jesus. Strange sign of Jesus' suffering and death. Admission against Christianity. An immense work must begin if the misguided souls are to find their way back to faith in the divine Redeemer, for the view is already too deeply rooted that the Saviour on earth was indeed imbued with the deepest piety, but that he was of purely human origin and that the concept of his divinity was formed by overzealous confessors of his teachings and retained for centuries. It is a very difficult beginning to make people understand the error of this view and to refute it, because over time, the memory of his deeds has faded strongly. One takes note of it only as a legend, and so the miraculous works of the Saviour on earth can no longer contribute to awaken or strengthen faith in him. Mankind today is so used to sober thinking that it has no understanding for it and without any hesitation therefore surrenders the belief in Jesus Christ as the Son of God and summarily puts down and thus rejects everything extraordinary that still wants to point to the suffering and death of Christ at the present time as the spawn of sick people. Now, however, the world will have to take note of an event which will obviously and evidently make people aware of the suffering and death of Jesus, and they will be given proof of such a strange kind that it should now be easy for them to believe, if they only use their will correctly. But there again human science will dare to solve or explain this strange phenomenon, and it will try to shake and destroy all faith in the Lord and Saviour anew. However, God's love is unceasingly intent on helping people's spiritual need and sends them hints upon hints, and the more attentively man pays attention to this very problem of God's incarnation, the more convinced he can be that he is being pointed to the right path. But where one is completely indifferent to him, it is unspeakably difficult to turn to Christ, and even the spiritual powers of the other world do not have much effect. Therefore it is extraordinarily successful and important that the general disinterestedness first of all changes into the opposite. That what was up to now, the mechanical practice of the so-called worship, must suffer a strong shock, in order to now stimulate the people to think and to cause them to make some kind of decision. Only if the danger exists to have to give something away, man recognizes of what value it is to him. He either separates easily from it or begins to fight for the possession, and this is the purpose also with all fights against Christianity, which are permitted by God exactly for the purpose that man decides freely and pays attention to the problem at all. The number of those who confess Jesus Christ is really very small compared to those who willingly or consciously renounce him. But they will still be given many a hint to save them from destruction who are walking in blindness. And the struggle for the souls will still be unspeakable, both on this side as well as on the other side. Amen.